Welcome everybody. We're going to go over some of the changes between T7 YTS and T8 MTS, the main changes that you're going to need to know about. For the most part, it works pretty much identical, but there are a couple of little changes. And one of the things is if you're coming from T7 YTS, you'll be using the upgrade installer. And what that's going to do is that's going to grab all the information in your T7 YTS and it's going to migrate it into T8 MTS. Now there's one thing that will not migrate because of the change of what we're doing, but it's a minor thing, and you're going to like the reason why it doesn't migrate and what you may have to do. Anyway, if we go over here to setup, we now have down here, this used to be just labeled notes, it's now labeled invoice notes. If you had customized notes that you had put in that would go on to the invoices and quotes, you had, in T7 you had done that through the notes, and invoice notes is basically the same, just a little bit different. So let's go on and go to this up here. You'll notice there again, if you're coming from the screen of T7 YTS, you'll notice it's a little bit different. And here you got 4, and it's fixed at 4. And there's a reason that it's fixed at 4, because you can only get 4 on the invoice or quote at one time. But one of the other things that we wanted to do is we wanted to make it where you could default. And what that basically means is that you can set a default, like in this example here, you'll see that we've got the 50% required, deposit required is checked as default. And what that basically means is that when we start a new quote or invoice, that will automatically be applied to it. We will not have to remember to go and add that into the comments and notes section of the invoice. So basically your existing notes database, or the data that was in there coming from T7 YTS, will not carry over to T8 MTS. All of your existing invoices and estimates will still have the same information on it. That will not change. So if you had something on those in the past, don't worry, it's still going to be there. All that's going to change is which ones are in here. So if you had made changes beyond this, which were in the examples that have been in the program for a long time, if you had made changes, you'll just need to go make those changes again in the form notes, and that's why we're kind of going over this. So what you'll do is you'll make your changes in here, add what you're going to do up to 4, select any of them that you want to be defaulted, and then click save, and then exit out of there. So we just click save, and then we just exit out of there, and that's done, and you shouldn't have to go back in there again until you do want to make a change on it. So the other thing that we're going to do is we come in here, we're going to go down. This used to be just labeled matrix, it's now pricing matrix. We're going to click on this and bring in and show you the change in here. What we've basically done here is we changed the wording. This used to be in-house up here. Now it says do not markup decorating. A lot of shops, what they do is they'll come in here and they'll put their actual cost in, or their actual pricing, what they're going to charge. So in this example here, this particular shop would say for one color going on a 12 to 24 count, they're going to charge $1.35, and that's what they're going to charge. And there's not going to be any difference in that, so they just want that added on. Okay, so they're going to take the shirt cost and whatever they're going to do with it, however they're going to mark the shirts up, the garment up, and then they're going to add $1.35 to that pricing that they're giving the customer as for the decoration. And so it's just set that that's what I'm doing. So $1.90 here, whatever, and so on through this whole thing. And the ones that are blank, you see up here on the 1 to 11, and then it drops on this particular line from 7 on. You see them blank out and stuff. What this is basically saying is, it's telling the program that you're not going to price anything in that. So that if you go in and you say a customer wants 10 shirts and they want something, and you try to run the pricing on it, the software is going to come back and say there's not any pricing available. And so it's not going to allow you to price it. So for shops that have minimums, as you go through, you can set that by just leaving it blank. And you can also stagger this down. Now this is set up for 10 color. I know a lot of you don't have 10 color. Just go through here. If you could take one of these existings and just modify it to whatever you want. And you can do a new. You can set up, retail like this is. Somebody is just off the street. You can set up wholesale for, if you're doing a little bit of contract printing, whatever. So, like I said, it boils back down to do not mark up decorating. Basically says use the price that's in here. That's it. That's what I'm going to add to what I'm charging the customer. Now, if I uncheck that, what it's going to do is it's going to now take this pricing and it's going to mark it up by either a margin or markup by the percent that's put right here on that line. So each one of these lines you see down here, you got the 14 lines for the 14 price breaks, and you can set up how much you want it to mark up each one of these lines. So in this case here, I would say $1.35, but I want you to mark it up by 50%. Okay, why would you want to do that? Well, there's some shops that want to come in here and they say my cost, okay, not what I'm charging, but my cost to do one color on a 1 to 24 is $1.35. And so I want to be able to put my cost in here and then mark it up. Okay, so like I said, used to, that would be the same as if you went over and were saying, in-house or not in-house, because if you were having a contract printer print your items, then you would want to put their cost, what they were charging you in here, and then you wouldn't want to have it mark up. So there's a couple of reasons that you would want to set that do not mark up decorating. Or uncheck it to allow it to mark up decorating. There again, like I said, so if you're putting your cost in here, if you figure it out, it costs you $1.35 to put that on there, and even if you're in-house printing and you want to mark it up by 50%, well then you would uncheck the do not mark up decorating. Or if you were getting a contract shop to print for you and they were charging you $1.35 to print that on there, then you would again go over and uncheck this do not mark up decorating, and it would mark it up by this amount. Now the major change over here is we've added this on here, do not mark up garment. Why in the world would you want to do that? Well, surprisingly enough, there's a couple of shops out there, one in particular requested this, that sets their markup over in the product catalog. And if you remember going over to the product catalog, let's just jump over there a minute. We're going to go over the catalog, we're going to go to the garment catalogs. And you got to remember over here, and this is Eddie Bauer, and there's only one set of pricing on it. But you'll notice over here that you have the base markup percentage to customer, and in here we got 31%. So it's taken the $69.99 and it's marking it up 31% to $91.61. Okay, and so there's some shops that they want to do all of their garment markup over here. They don't want to give a quantity break on the on the garment. Let me drop down here where I can get to the back to the matrix. So they don't want to. They don't want to mark up or give. They don't want to give quantity breaks on the garment. Initially, the thought behind the base markup to customer was as a minimum that you would ever charge a customer. So let's say you had a shirt that was costing you $2, and the minimum that you ever wanted to charge them was $3 for that shirt, that blank shirt. You could set the base markup percentages to the customer over there to get, say, a $3 charge, and it wouldn't make a difference then if you came over here and one of the markups over here was 0. It would still charge them $3 for the shirt. But if we wanted to then, if they were only getting 12 to 24, we wanted to charge them 4 or something, well, it would then apply this additional markup to them. And so that's the way a lot of shops do it. It does add a little complication into doing it, but that's why you have this software, because it takes care of all of this for you. Now, the thing of it is there's some shops that don't want to do that. They just want to go over there and say, I'm going to mark this up so much percent, period. Whether it's 20%, 30%, well, I don't know. I don't really care. But that's what they want to do, and they say, that's it. We're not giving quantity discount on the garment. So we have this feature now, do not mark up the garment. So your price that you set over in the garment catalog, that's it. That's what they're going to pay. They make a difference if you buy one, you buy 1,000. That's what they're going to pay. And we're going to then add the decorating cost to it. And like I said, so our T-Series software is extremely flexible in its ability to be able to price and how you can price. So they're getting, like I said, that are the main things that are in there. Okay, now let's get back over here to the apparel and going back to the notes. We kind of sidetracked there just a minute, but that's okay. We're going into stuff. So, okay, so we were talking about the notes. And if we come over here, they're under the comments. This is where you normally have the notes. And like I was telling you, you're not really losing anything you had before. You're not losing some of the functionalities. You can still come down in here and select, if you want to put a note in there in a previous one, or you want to change something, you can still go back and you can still do that. So we've got that. Now, but like I said, if we went back over to our notes, let's get down in here and Invoice Notes. We come over here, we notice that the number 2 item here, 50% deposit required, is checked as a default. So let's exit out of here a minute. We're going to come over here now. So if we come up here and we select a new, create a new quote, and we're just going to select Jones Designs right now. So let's click on OK in it. Now normally we would have to remember to go and put that in there. And sometimes we're in a hurry, we got a lot of things on our mind. If you're like me, you forget. So what we've done now is you'll notice that under this new deal, the 50% deposit required is there. It will show up on the quotes and the invoices. So we no longer have to remember to put that in there. So that's one of the probably one of the better additional features that's been added in there. So like I said, if you have T7 YTS, you were emailed a email giving you a URL to go to for the user form that I've set up. Now that's the way that we're going to handle a lot of this support and things going on. Is going to go through that. We still have the support help desk out there. still welcome to use that, but there's going to be, the form is going to be a little bit better because it retains the information for everybody to see as I put stuff up there, and other people ask questions that are in there. So if you had T7YTS, you were given the login information and the password to use, and the password was your registration number that you had for T7YTS. That was your initial password. And so you can go over there. That's where this video is going to be mainly located, and that's where going to be some of the other videos are going to be located. It's also going to be where you're going to get your registration number for T8 MTS. Like I said, if you were a T7YTS user, you're getting a free upgrade to T8 MTS, and you will receive your T8 MTS registration number through a private message on the user forum. So that's where you're going to have to go. That's where you're going to find the download to download the T8 MTS update or upgrade installer. So very important that you, if you haven't already gone over there, if you're a T7YTS user and you haven't gone over there, to do your initial login into the user forum, it behooves you to do so if you want to get T8 MTS. So anyway, and if for some reason you didn't receive that email and you are a T7YTS user, then go to the normal help desk and just do a support ticket and say, hey, I didn't get it. I didn't get the email for some reason. And I'll give you the information over there on how you can get into the user form and then get your information there. So anyway, we'll have a video on some of the workarounds in the user form. There's not much there right now. Hey, it's brand new. There's only a couple of things there. So we'll go over some of the aspects on that too. So until next time on another video, hopefully that answers some of the stuff. This is not a full-blown how-to on T8 MTS. This is for people that are mainly using T7YTS, and they're wanting to know what's changed. And the other thing I want to mention too is if you have T7YTS and you do the upgrade to T8 MTS, your T7YTS is still there, still functioning, it's untouched. Nothing's going to happen to it. You still use it. The only thing is that after you install the upgrade to T8 MTS, if you make any changes over in T7YTS, it will not show up in the T8 MTS. But it's still there if you need it. So anyway, till the next video. Thanks for watching my videos, and more importantly, if you're a Shop Cal software user, thank you very much.